going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another episode of Flipping Cheap Cars for Big Profits. In today's video, guys, guess what? I've got a really good episode planned for you people, or maybe a continuous episode or episodes planned for you guys. So what do I have planned? As you probably read from the title, how to become a car trader. A lot of channels have been popping up lately. A lot of people watch these videos. So maybe you guys have decided that I'm going to become a car trader, or maybe you guys have just started off or just enjoy watching it and just wonder, what does it really take to be a car trader? So I've decided to sort of document all the ups, the downs, you know, the good, the bad, the ugly, and when it comes to everything to do with car trading, and you know, what really does it take. So I've got a bit of experience because I've had a few expensive cars, I've had really cheap cars, and now I've moved on to what Chop scores the cheapest. In fact, let me get out of the car and show you exactly what we got going on in this video. Check this car out. Right, people, look at what we have here. This is the stunning Peugeot 107 Urban. It is in a bright citrus yellow. It is in really good condition, guys. I mean, moving over to this side, 2009, as you can see, is a 5-door as well. It is a category N due to the fact it's got this damage on the wing. I mean, the headlights, they're not faded, you know, nothing good clean couldn't do. I mean, if we could take, can you see the space you got inside there? Imagine taking them headlights apart. If they could come out, stick some LED strips in there, that would spice up the car a little bit. Anyways, moving on to the driver's side of the car. Now, there is not much damage beside the scuffs on the front bumper, as you can see. Driver's door looks really good. The paint actually got a lovely shine to it as well. You know, once it's polished, we could bring up the paint on this. Moving over to the rear, we do have a bit of lacquer peel here. We will need to address that. Moving over to the back of the car, again, not much damage. A slight little rip there, or crack, or whatever you want to call that. We'll need to sand that down, touch it up. Looking good. Moving over to the rear of the bumper, which looks rather nice, to be fair. And this side, where you go to the passenger rear door, 5-door as mentioned. So we could potentially, if we wanted to, replace that, because that's actually on the door. We could actually just replace the whole door, which is probably going to cost me around 50 quid in yellow. I have seen them, but let's have a look inside the car. So the paint on the inside of the door, guys, is absolutely stunning. It's a really clean. The trim looks really good. Does need a good clean. I mean, if we can get the outside of the car looking as shiny as that paint there, we might be onto a winner. Moving on to the interior, guys. Well, it's not overly warm for a 2009. Nothing the rug doctor can't take care of, and we will certainly need the rug doctor to deal with this interior. Take a few steps back, guys, and have a look at the whole car from the passenger side. It looks rather nice. Again, the paint is really shiny and in absolutely good condition, in my opinion. I've seen a lot worse, and you've known I've dealt with cars that are absolutely shit boxes, to be honest. But this car is rather nice. We do need to address that there, which will need sanding down and repainting. Other than that, you know, the car itself looks really good. There's not much damage on the door. The bonnet itself looks in rather good condition. Again, the trim on the front, got a little mark there, but nothing we can't take care of. I'm not going to put too much money into this car, because the less I put into it, the more I'm going to request, the more I'm going to get out of it. If I overspend on this car by just changing every little thing that needs changing, you know, we're going to need to put this at the top range, you know, the top price range, which is going to make this car sit on the market for a lot longer, and I don't want that. Let's get back in the car. Right, moving on to the interior of the car, guys. Get that ignition turned on. All the lights are there. You want to make sure you look at all the lights are there, which means some people have got a habit of tampering with bulbs. I've never experienced that myself, but it happens, I guess. The lights are there. Fire that engine up, the lights go out, everything seems to work as it should. The mileage on the car, as you can see, is, well, it's got 888 on it, so you might as well round the numbers off to 126 on the dot. Right, guys, we are on to the numbers. The most important part is the numbers. So the numbers is where you can make or break a deal. So the cost of the vehicle has to be very important. Knowing when to spend money has to be very important. Knowing what to spend money on is the most important thing when you purchase a vehicle, because I tell you what, if you get that wrong spend, you will be sitting with that vehicle on the market for a month longer than other people, or you could be lucky and it could sell really quick. So it's always a gamble, but I think the less you spend on a car, the more profit you will make. And I'm not saying skimp on doing things. I mean, let's talk about the rear door. That rear door has a couple of dents. It looks worse on camera because the camera sort of really enhances the lighting and stuff like that. So it looks like the dent is actually worse than it is. It's actually not that bad in real life. The paint on this vehicle overall is really shiny as well. So I reckon once we sort of polish up this car, give it a good clean inside and out, this car is going to look really, I think it's going to look really good, to be honest with you. We'll see anyways when I'm done cleaning it. So moving on to the numbers now. What does this car owe me? We'll get the calculator out. I could work it out in my head, but I'd rather have everything accurate for you guys. So moving on to the cost of this vehicle. £500 was the cost of this car. So we got £500 plus. So 500 plus. The vehicle arrived to me with oh yeah, it was undrivable. I did know that it needed a clutch. They said the car did move, but it actually didn't move. However, I needed to replace the clutch. My mate charged me for a clutch. £100 was just for the fitting, plus the clutch itself was 80, including some oils. Plus this car is going to need an MOT, so we're going to do plus 40. Plus we're going to need to put £10 fuel to obviously go to the MOT station and obviously back and, you know, use the car if we need to make sure it's in running order. So we'll stick plus 10. Then we're going to need to obviously tax the vehicle. It's £20 for the year, or I'm just going to put tenner. So we're going to plus £10 for 6 months. We'll get whatever difference comes back, you know, depending on how long we have the vehicle, but we're just going to put plus tenner. Then the wing itself cost me £30, so we're going to do plus 30. Am I going to pay for this vehicle to get fixed by a paint shop? Now there's another thing where you're going to sort of add your profits. That's going to eat into your profits. Do you reckon you could paint a wing? The wing is not on the vehicle at this point because it's arrived to me in a box, obviously. Great way to sit there on your kitchen table, give it a nice little sanding down, you know, or dining table. I like to do things indoors. I'm not going to be spending my time outdoors. I don't have a garage to be working, so yeah, I'm going to sit on my dining table, give it a little sand down, and then I'm going to take the panel outside. I'm going to, you know, hang it on my washing line or whatever with some like little hooks and something like that. Give it a good coat of primer and then paint the panel in the yellow. By the way, the yellow is not just any yellow bought from Halfords. This paint is going to be needed to be purchased from a paint shop where they're going to mix it up for you. And that there itself costs, for the exact paint I actually have purchased it, so I do know, was £15. Plus you're going to need some good lacquer as well to go with that, which was 17. So we're going to be plus £17. And you're going to need some sandpapers and all that, them miscellaneous items, which is going to cost you, round it off to a tenner. So we do plus 10 equals the grand total of this vehicle at this point, just for the basics without including that door, by the way, is £812. So you think you've got a really good deal by buying a car that, you know, is only for 500 quid. Without testing it, I was hit with the fact that it needed a clutch. Anyways, 812 guys. So we got 812 in this vehicle at this point without messing around with that rear door. And I think I'm potentially going to leave that door. If I find one nice and cheap on eBay, I might get it, I might not. But 820. Let's see how we go over the coming, well, actually, let's see how this car does on an MOT. So in the next video, guys, I will be taking the car for an MOT. We'll see if this car passes an MOT. If it does pass an MOT without needing anything, we will be sitting pretty decent profit, because if I retail the car for, let's say, £1,200, that's going to give us a profit of £388. And I think that's a really, really good profit for a small car like this that EA kind of cost me quite a lot. And I think, you know what, guys, if you could purchase one of these cars that are in really good condition for around, you know, 800 quid, and you can test drive it, I think is a better way to go than sometimes purchasing from auctions. Because I reckon I could have picked up one of these cars, I mean, not in yellow, but I could pick up a Peugeot 107 for around £900, you know, and, you know, probably went to them, tested the car out, offered them £800. They potentially could have taken that price. Then I could have known that the car was all good. It probably would have had an MOT as well. These are all things that you guys, you know, you can learn as you go. Sometimes you might be really lucky. If you're willing to go and test the vehicle out when it's at an auction, then you would know that you get the car for 500 quid and you'll be in a win-win situation there. But if the car is untested and unknown of, you know, faults that's needed, you could be in a situation like how I'm in now, where this car owes me £812 and we ain't even had the MOT done. So stay tuned, guys. I will do a video on going to pick up the I will do a video on going to take the car for an MOT. That's going to be the next one. MOT, clean the car, MOT. Oh damn, but did I even add the price of cleaning the car? No, price of cleaning the car is going to be add another 10 on that, so that's going to bring the total of this car £822. So 822 including cleaning inside and out. We in this car a shitload of money at this point. Anyways, stay tuned. Next video, guys, we will be taking this car to go and get cleaned and going for its MOT, and fingers crossed it passes MOT without needing anything else, or we are eating into our profits. Yeah, interesting. Stay tuned. See you in the next one. Bye bye.